Good evening and welcome to the show. Are you thirsty? That's good because we have a long tall glass of drinking digital just for you. This is your host, God's gift to Philippine digital advertising, Ricky Baizas. This is the fifth episode, or the sixth episode rather, of Drinking Digital, the first and only podcast here in the Philippines that talks exclusively about digital communications, anything from YouTube, Facebook, and mobile marketing. Tonight, we have a very special guest. We have somebody from Jollibee. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Jollibee has gone digital. They are online and they are mobile as well. We have as our guest tonight Mr. Manolo Almagro, the digital consultant for Jollibee here in the Philippines. Manolo!
Good evening.
Introduce yourself, my friend.
It's good to be here. Thanks for having me. I'm the digital consultant for Jollibee. What does that mean? I run all of the special projects for them that have to do with digital, specifically online, mobile, and also in-store retail. And so what we get to do is we get a lot of opportunities to experiment and use technology. We use online and mobile as well to see just how Filipinos will react. One of our biggest projects over the past year was going online.
All right. Before we start, Manolo, I think you got to do this as well.
Okay.
A little bit of a disclaimer here.
No, that's right. That's
right. Yes, folks, I am an employee of Nestle Philippines Incorporated. I am the digital marketing executive for Nestle Philippines. This is not in any way sponsored by Nestle. And the views and opinions expressed in this show and of its guests do not necessarily reflect that of the company.
That's right. Ditto. Everything I say here for sure is not going to be 100% reflective of what Jollibee says or does or thinks. So, okay, don't come after me.
now that we have that out of the way, Manolo, you were talking about what Jollibee does in digital. I know for a fact that you can now have your Chicken Joy or your Champ delivered to you, but you can order it on the website.
In fact,
or on your mobile site.
That's right.
Okay, now I want to put that to the test because a lot of people are skeptical whether these orders get received or whether these orders get delivered. And we're going to show our audience tonight live. We are broadcasting live from the Battle Axe Network studios, and we want to see this at work.
Okay.
Are you confident, my friend?
I accept the challenge.
All right. So,
although the 30-minute guarantee
might not apply.
That has a lot to do with the traffic
terrible.
And the weather. But for sure, I can guarantee you that the order will go through to the call center.
Okay, let's do it. What website do we go to, or what app do we need to download to start ordering our Chicken Joy?
You should try the hash brown burger. It's something else.
Is it good? All right.
We'll try that.
Is that available the whole day?
It is.
All right. What do we do first?
We first go to jollibeedelivery.com.
So worldwideweb.jollibeedelivery.com.
That's right. Or if you are on your mobile phone, you can do the same thing, jollibeedelivery.com.
All right.
If you use a mobile
Do they need to download an app?
Nope.
Oh, okay, just the mobile website.
That's right.
Okay.
We do have an app that Smart is going to be pre-installing on their net phones.
On their new Smart net phones.
That's
all right.
So when that happens, you will not have to download it, but it will be there, and it's actually
it's embedded. It's embedded in the Smart net phones.
Right,
that's great news.
Lets you use Smart Money as well, so
to pay for it.
Cool,
exactly. Cool.
So we're hoping that does pretty well for us.
Okay, let's get on to it, man.
All right. So what would you like? A hash brown burger with a drink, perhaps?
Let's try the hash brown burger.
Right,
Miguel, what do you want to order?
You sure? All right, we can just do 3 of those. The chicken.
3 hash brown burgers. All right, let's do it.
I hope you're not on a diet because this is definitely not diet food. All right, so it is now. I just selected the item. So it's
You're ordering this on your tablet.
That's right.
Okay.
The cool part is it senses it. So if you're coming from a mobile device, it'll automatically push you to the mobile site, which is optimized for lower bandwidth and big fingers. So we get to choose our drink flavor. So what do you want? Coke, Sprite, Sarsi, Coke Light, Coke Zero?
I have a Sprite.
All right. I have a Coke Light. Coke Light.
Coke Light for our friend Miguel.
Sprite.
Does that fall under the minimum though? 3 hash browns?
Oh yeah, don't worry, I'll push it up.
All right.
We'll add some add-ons to get it over that 200 peso minimum. So
that's your new product, right? The hash brown burger.
Yeah, it's.
Is it selling like hash browns?
It's actually doing pretty well.
I'm sure it does.
I was surprised about it. I've never really thought about putting a beef patty between 2 hash browns. But,
Well, you got to continually innovate.
That's right.
Right.
That's right. So now I'm ordering. I'm gonna have to do this 3 times because you both have different drinks.
All right.
So you're not making it easy on me.
Okay, we have 1 hour in the show, so it should get here in time, right?
That's right.
Before the show ends, it should get here.
We can hope. We can only
and
hope.
the people of the world will see that Jollibee online delivery works.
Put me on the spot, Ricky. Thank you very much.
No, this is what you need, right? People need to see that it works.
That's all right.
That digital works.
What did they say? It's called eating your own dog food, but I shouldn't use that term when you're eating Jollibee. But all right, so we'll do 1 more.
Again, that's worldwideweb.jollibeedelivery.com, right?
That's right.
This is 24/7, right? It's available
24/7.
anytime?
The menu shifts over after 9 o'clock because they don't serve everything.
Okay, because
So
they serve
luckily-
only the breakfast in the morning.
That's right.
All right.
So, we actually waited a year before we went 24/7 because we wanted to see what the volume was,
Okay,
which was pretty demanding, I think, mostly for the call center people.
all right.
All right, so now I'm ready to check out because I
Okay.
placed my order.
So it's that easy. It's that quick.
That's right. 1 finger, 1 tablet. Very simple.
All right.
I've got my order here. Let's see here. I have to clear. Actually, I had an order from earlier today that I did not clear out. So you can talk to me while I'm changing this if you
Okay.
wanna watch me just place.
So the advantage of this is you do not need to interface anymore via telephone with a human being because sometimes they get the order wrong, right?
That's right.
So what happens is it reduces the human error in the ordering process.
Yep. What's interesting is people were trained to wait for a call. Like when you place an order on the other sites, you actually get a confirmation call.
Mm-hmm.
And so what happens is in the beginning when we did this, people were like, "Hey, I placed an order, but I have to wait for a call." The reality is, why do you want to call? I mean, this is supposed to be fast.
Exactly.
So we got a lot of complaints on our Facebook page.
Okay.
We basically said, okay, you know what? We're going to do 1 confirmation call just to appease people because we got a lot of people calling saying, "Hey, where's my order?"
Okay.
We said, check your email box. And then what we do now is the first time you order, if it's the first time you've never registered, we call you up.
You got to make a call just to make
confirm
sure.
it to you.
Yeah, just
and you say,
I understand that.
order?
Yeah.
And then after that,
You're
you don't
clear.
get a call.
Yeah.
So it's even faster. But
Because they
it's
know you're a
interesting.
real person and that you're really ordering. They just need to
Exactly.
confirm that in the beginning. So we should expect a call, right? Because this is the first time we're ordering from here.
We should because it's a new address. So
All right.
the other cool part is you can have multiple addresses. Some people have home address, work address.
That's right.
And then
Or wherever they are. at
sound
the
studio
moment.
address, which is what I just added. So I'm just updating my page here.
Okay. So they
making
should
sure.
call us any minute now.
It probably takes about 5 minutes
All right.
to get the call in.
Okay. Let's wait for that call from Jollibee.
I'm going to make sure I pick the right address because we just put this in. We're in Makati, right? Yes, we are.
Makati.
Makati.
With Friday night traffic.
That's right.
terrible traffic.
Oh, yeah. Another cool thing that we just did is we just added credit cards as of
okay.
October. It's been a soft launch. We didn't tell anybody about it yet, but over the past 2 years, we've been getting requests from OFWs saying, "Hey, you know what? I want
They
to
want to pay for it. Yeah, okay.
It's the only way you can do it because
Yeah,
if you do
yeah,
cash
yeah.
on delivery, it's like, well, what are you doing? It's like sending people a bunch of pizzas and having them pay for it. Right?
Okay.
So
you do accept orders from abroad
we do now.
and to deliver to their families here in the Philippines.
Just in time for the holidays.
Okay.
So if you have a credit card, you can actually order in this country as well.
But before that, it's still the usual cash on delivery.
Yep.
All right. Are we good?
Almost. I'm just gonna say they also ask you what kind of change because that's the one thing.
All right. Yeah, like if you need change for like $500 or
that's
$300.
right. So you just say I'm gonna put that in.
I don't have any money on me though, man. So this
that's
is on you, right?
Anyone else? Yeah, I guess we are sponsoring this thing tonight. So
Thank you in advance, Manolo.
no problem whatsoever.
Cool.
Once I place this order, what'll happen is it goes through to the call center.
Okay, the call center receives it.
They receive it. There is some automation. What it'll do is look for this address and say, what is the closest delivery store? Mm-hmm. And then it's not necessarily one across the street. It's going to be whatever the database says, because what Jollibee works is franchisees have protected areas that are just for delivery. So some people say, look, the Jollibee's right across the street and I'm waiting for my food. What's taking so long? Mm-hmm. It's not usually coming from there.
Okay.
So it says my order's been received. Then it'll go through. The one thing the computer does is it checks with the store to make sure everything's in stock, because sometimes, out of stock.
You run out.
Bummer.
Yeah.
So what they go is, if it's out of stock, they'll call. Say, what else do you want?
Okay.
And then after that, goes through, the order gets processed, and it goes straight to a server inside the store, goes to the cash register. They get ready and place the order, and they prepare it, and then they ship it out.
All right, cool.
In the future, we'll be able to do things like what Domino's does, where they let you track where your order is.
Like a package, like a LBC or a DHL or FedEx package.
So that's coming along the way. That's going to be coming along once we have our GPSs on our riders and things like that. So
cool.
It is future plans for those kind of things.
All right.
So
Manolo, while we're waiting for our orders, while we're waiting for our 3 hash browns, let's talk a little bit about yourself. You look Filipino, but you sound American. What is up with that?
That's right.
Tell us where you came from while you ended up here in the Philippines. And what's your background, my friend?
My background, from New York, Manhattan. Grew up there, born and bred. As you can tell, I
born and bred in New York. Okay.
That's right. Lived there till I was 16.
Okay.
Then I went to college at University of Maryland. Basically, I grew up in the United States.
Okay.
Did not learn the language, unfortunately. I think it was mostly because my parents wanted to talk about me in front of my face. So, a lot of times when I'm here, I have to fake it. So a lot of times I'll just nod and smile, but I will not know what you're saying.
Okay.
I worked in the agency specifically for...
Oh, okay. So you went the agency route.
Yep.
Okay. What did you study in university, though?
I studied...
Were you like a computer science or computer engineering guy?
Truthfully, I left in my third year of college.
Oh, okay.
I saw that the writing was on the wall. They weren't teaching computer graphics and Macintosh when I got... that's how old I am. The Mac was just coming out.
All right.
So I had to get it elsewhere, so I actually got offered a job at an agency while I was in school. And I took it.
Okay. And this agency was?
It was a small independent agency.
All right.
So I was doing a lot of freelance work in New York after I got out, and got a lot of experience. I ended up working for Publicis in Chicago.
Yeah.
I had a small company that was doing... software training for like Photoshop and Alice PageMaker back in the day when those were new. And so my friends and I, we said, hey, we need to teach designers how to use the tools. So we actually got loans from our parents, got a van, filled it up with Macintoshes, 12 of them, drove around the country, and did seminars. And people would come and learn. It was pretty cool. I didn't think it would fly, but we did it.
Okay.
We got discovered by a company that did a lot of pre-press work for things like P&G and things like that.
All right.
And they said, hey, we'd like to buy you. I said, what? That's just 4 guys. So they said, fine, come on, we'll buy you. They bought our courseware. We wrote actual software that was about training and simulated how to make things. So it was cool. They didn't have that back then.
All right.
That's how I ended up in Chicago, because this was based in Chicago.
Okay.
So I stayed there for a year, got pretty boring, and then I started working for the agency, which is Publicis.
Okay.
So I worked for Leo Burnett, Saatchi, Digital.
So you've done the rounds of the agencies.
In fact, that's why I left. I spent almost 15 plus years in the agency.
Okay. On what capacity, though? On art director?
Emerging technologies. So
emerging technologies.
So I was kind of like what I'm doing now, where we were experimenting with digital, how people were going to use it.
Okay.
I mean, back when Second Life was cool, that's how we were doing it. So we were learning a lot, seeing how people would use things. Did stuff with MySpace, experimentation.
All right.
And then we decided to kind of try out and experiment with different clients. McDonald's was one of our biggest clients. So I spent a lot of years in McDonald's experimenting. They had things called the digital store.
Okay.
We built some applications for them. In fact, we built the first digital menu board, as they call it.
All right.
And I actually got a patent for that, which was kind of crazy. I didn't even know that was possible.
Got a patent holder in the house.
Right? And so, it doesn't do much except for when you want to sue somebody. So unless you're going to litigate a patent, doesn't mean anything. Or it looks good on a resume. That's pretty much it. So, so then after that, I said, "That's it. I'm done with the agency. It's been a long life there." I went back to New York, my hometown. I did a lot of work in Times Square.
Okay.
With billboards and interactive mobile applications and things like that. A lot more experimentation. But
all right.
if you think of Times Square, it's like the only place in the world where people actually go to look at the advertising.
That's right. That's right.
It's like a giant petri dish, an experimental place. So we got to try out how people would react to interactive billboards.
Okay.
We did a lot of work with like the ABC sign, the Reuters sign, all the stuff that you can see when they do those TV.
So this was your start with interactive.
That's right.
Okay.
And it's outdoor, so it's digital out of home and mobile. And then biggest project I did was I worked on the Obama campaign that was broadcast in Times Square, and it was the presidential election. It was crazy stuff. So we really got a good look at how to combine online and mobile and out of home in one place.
All right.
A big experiment, but it was in the infancy of Facebook.
Okay.
So that's like 2008. So,
all right.
Facebook was like a year old, I think, at that point. So then I started to look at other countries. I looked at Asia because I saw that as the emerging place.
Okay.
Also, the agency, the company I was working for was looking for offshore.
All right.
So where are you going to go? Philippines, right?
Yeah.
So I came out here.
But before that, you've never been to the Philippines.
No, I haven't. I think
okay.
the first time I came was in 90s.
For a visit.
For a visit.
All
My
right.
family's from here.
Okay.
So never thought I would end up living here. So that was pretty
all right.
wild.
So what eventually led you to come home?
So the way it worked is, that site called LinkedIn.
Ah, yes.
Yes. So apparently Jollibee uses LinkedIn to recruit.
Okay.
So they sent me an email saying, "Hey, we're Jollibee. We're looking for someone with your qualifications." And I was like,
"Oh yeah,
come on."
Lucky you, man.
Right? I knew Jollibee growing up, right? So it was pretty cool. So
all right.
they brought me over here.
Okay.
And then they said, we want you to build a team. We want you to experiment. Here's some... Hold on.
What is that?
I think it is Jollibee calling.
All right.
I should have called you.
Check it out.
Hello? Yeah. Hello? Maybe they'll call you again.
All right.
Didn't work.
Let's wait for the call.
Signal.
So anyway,
Jollibee
contacted you through LinkedIn. So for the people listening there, do not neglect your LinkedIn page.
That's right. You would not.
We're always on
believe.
Facebook and everything, but you got to take care of your LinkedIn page.
Right.
Develop your connections and everything. Add some friends and everything.
Right. Put your Twitter thing working up with your LinkedIn so people know what you talk about all the time.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Here we
Take
go. Let's
that
try it
one.
more time.
Those are our hash brown burgers.
Hello.
All right. I can hear it.
Yes, this is he. Okay. Okay.
Confirming our order.
That's right.
So as we were saying,
Yes.
do not neglect the LinkedIn profile. Make sure everything's complete.
Yeah.
Invite your friends over because you never know who might come calling. So in the case of our guest here,
Yes.
Jollibee, one of the biggest brands in the Philippines, ended up offering him a job on digital.
Right.
Are we good?
Yeah. Yeah. Correct. That sounds good.
Miguel, have you ever tried ordering food online?
No change. Exact change.
Never. So now you know this works. Try it out next time, man.
806.
It is 8:06 right now. So we should expect it in
Bye-bye.
at 8:36. Is
All
that
right.
what she said?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
So let's see.
So we know they received our order.
That's
so it's
right.
now just a matter of getting here.
That's
we
right.
should see the delivery person here on camera
That's
when it
true.
arrives.
To be fair, my name is in the database with a star on it, so they know that they really have to make sure things get done.
Because you're the guy testing.
I'm the guy that's
right?
testing all the time. So,
all right, cool.
Normally, normally you should get it with 30 minutes, but I want to put the disclaimer out there. There is a little mark on my name out there. So,
all right, so it might come here earlier.
Yeah, it might get here a little
right.
faster, right? We'll hear the knock on the door right now. So
okay, cool. So Manolo, we were talking about your LinkedIn profile and how Jollibee contacted you through
that's
that.
right.
Okay,
I got recruited through LinkedIn, so
all right.
it was pretty amazing. And then they flew me out here.
LinkedIn.com, man.
I got to talk to the Bee, I talked to Hetty, I talked to Popo. No, I'm just kidding. I talked to a bunch of people, and they said, you know what? It's going to be cool. Come on out. And I said, sure. And,
all right. So they flew you in.
Flew me in. Yeah, it was pretty
All
cool.
right, cool.
It was not business class like I had hoped, but what
all
can
right.
you say? But it was cool. And
And they offered you a job.
they offered me a job.
To move to the Philippines and everything.
That's right. So, but as part of the job, the cool part is I get to go back to the United States because, you guys still have to keep in touch with
Of
what's
course.
happening. They're very good and gracious at sending me to conventions and seminars.
All right, yeah.
So it's always very good for them to kind of keep us up to speed on what's happening outside the country as well as what's happening in the country. So
All right. So let's talk a little bit about the Philippines digital space. How do you find it? So how long have you been here? Have you been here a couple of years? A year?
a year, 2 years, 2 years and 5 months, I think.
Okay. How do you find it so far?
It's very hot here. It's very, very hot. No, it's it's a very different place.
Okay.
I think, to be honest, when I first got here, the first thing I did was look for the associations to join.
That's
to
right.
learn about what's happening in the industry.
Because in the States, they have the Interactive Advertising
IB,
Bureau.
Yeah, all sorts.
They have WOMA, Word of Mouth, Marketing
Exactly.
Association, and everything, right?
Exactly. And
So that was your first...
that was the first step because you want to know what's happening. You want to tap into
you want to see how
communities.
organized we are here.
Right. And to my surprise, it was a much different experience than I expected.
Okay.
And I'll be I'm usually an outspoken person when it comes to IMAP and how I've been treated by them. So
We do have IMAP here in the Philippines,
Yes.
which is the Internet Marketing... Oh, what is it? Internet and Mobile Marketing Association of the Philippines.
Right.
Right? That's the leading organization
Exactly.
for digital marketing here in the Philippines.
right, the
All
de
right.
facto certificated kind of place, right?
Organization, yeah.
So, over the past years, I've noticed that it's still the same group of people. They just change seats. I mean,
Uh-huh.
it doesn't really seem like a very open community.
All right.
I'm not sure how the middleman or the smaller people can afford the fees that they charge.
Okay.
So to me, it's not necessarily the way I would see an association that wants to grow an emerging industry.
Okay.
I find it a little challenging.
Okay.
And the thing, I always say this story because it's a point I like to make.
Mm-hmm.
So I got asked, they said, hey, you work for Jollibee, why don't you come talk?
Because Jollibee's
Sure.
huge, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, we know you're working on some stuff. This is right before we launched the delivery sites and things. And I said, sure, I'd do it. And then I got a call after that saying, oh, if you want to talk, you got to pay.
You got to
I was
pay.
like, what?
And that's not how they do it in the States.
No, you talk. In fact, you get paid to talk. You don't.
They pay you to talk.
They pay me
Okay.
to talk. That I don't usually take, but
Yeah.
you want to learn from me.
Yeah, there's a
don't
premium.
ask me for
yeah,
more
yeah,
money.
yeah, yeah.
So that's kind of wrong. I mean, I don't like that.
Okay.
And then, of course, when I kind of made a big noise about it, they said, "Oh no. Well, we'll put you on a panel instead." I'm like, "Forget it."
Okay. Okay.
So that kind of put me in the other end of the spectrum of
You are
why
the rebel without a
I
cause.
don't like IMAP. And what's interesting is there's a lot of people like me with the same mindedness about how it hasn't done much for the industry. Yeah.
We're talking about that. We do have a lot of like digital imports, right?
Yeah.
We have a lot of guys from the States or from Singapore
Yep.
moving into the Philippines
Mhm.
and working in this industry.
That's right.
And talking about organizations, what about working with agencies, like the advertising agencies here?
Right.
What's your experience so far?
Well, the experience has been great.
Okay, that's good.
The nice thing is actually because of my relationship with Publicis,
Okay.
I was actually asked to help out a little bit here.
Oh,
on
okay.
The Zenith side, Zenith Optomedia.
Okay.
So, because I am also a consultant, I'm allowed to work with other groups as long as they don't compete with Jollibee.
Okay.
And one of my opportunities I get to work with Zenith Optomedia.
The
on
media
digital
agency.
side. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which has a good group of people and they're a growing agency.
Mm-hmm.
So I've actually seen both sides. I get to work on the brand side. I get to work on the agency side.
Okay.
And it's a much different type of environment. I think it's an emerging group.
Mm-hmm.
I am not sure that, aside from, present company excluded, I'm not sure that a lot of the digital groups are doing it the way I would think they should be doing it.
Okay.
But that's my opinion.
No.
Right.
But yeah. I mean,
you've seen it.
the reason why you guys are here is so we can learn from you.
Right.
Right.
But there's no originality, I have to say. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I think what I see is a lot of people copying each other.
Okay.
I see people looking at it like a campaign from outside Singapore, and the guy will come in and talk about it, and then suddenly somebody will copy it verbatim.
Okay.
And that's not innovation.
All right.
That's the easy way out.
Mm-hmm.
I think the challenge I always say is let's do something creative, let's do something new.
Yeah.
Talking to you on the Nestle side of things,
Mm-hmm.
I think your company has been one of the leaders in experimentation and learning and using Facebook and things
Thank
like
you
that.
very much.
So, just FYI, I think, those are the places. I think Unilever's done a lot of stuff.
Okay.
Experimental, especially on the mobile side.
All right.
What's interesting to see is how Smart and Globe tackle it on their end. I think one has more money than sense, and one has more sense than money. So it's interesting to see their approaches.
All right.
But I do think that they are definitely trying to push the envelope as far
Yeah.
as creating ways to spend more money on your data plan.
Yeah.
Which I think they need to lower.
I agree with that.
Right?
But I think everything's new and everything's young. We're
Yep.
just starting. We're still learning.
Right.
And we definitely appreciate guys like you coming over
Yeah.
with your experience in the States and with international agencies and so forth. And I think we just got to keep an open mind and learn from you guys, right? Because
Yeah.
you do have the experience.
I will learn anyone that wants to learn. I don't feel like I'm like the end all be all guru guy.
Yeah.
I also like to learn from other people.
Mhm.
Some of the other people I met within the smaller communities.
Yeah.
That Mobile Monday thing,
Uh-huh.
that's actually not a bad community. They're like the anti-version of what IMAP does. It's a open community, doesn't cost anything. Everyone shares ideas, and they're not trying to pitch you all the time.
Yeah. And the guy heading that is Christian Besler, right? Our
That's
very
right.
first guest
That's right.
in Drinking Digital. So if you check out episode number 1 of Drinking Digital, Christian Besler was
Yes.
the guest there, together with Narciso Reyes, and he's the one heading Mobile Monday, right?
Right.
Okay. Again, another import of
Exactly.
sorts, someone we could learn from.
Right. And the approach he takes is everybody needs to learn and he shares. Sharing
Yeah.
is the pillar of the community of digital. And
That's
if-
right. That's right.
We're not going to get anywhere if you kind of keep your cards close to your vest. I know everyone's trying to
Yeah.
get ahead, but we're all in this together if we're going to make it work.
Yeah.
The other thing I look at is some of the other brands. You can tell like they're teetering on the edge of using digital, but the person that runs it is still a little reluctant.
Yes,
Whoa.
yes.
That's kind of scary. It's not very happy with me. Not that exciting, I guess. What's interesting is you can see that they have a burgeoning group of digital folks that are kind of like trying to pitch these ideas up the ladder.
Mm-hmm.
But the person that's up here comes from the traditional side of
Yeah.
things, and
yeah.
you can't get anywhere. So, and then people who are on the digital side get all, they get after a while it's hard pushing that rock up the hill.
It could get frustrating.
So I can see that in people all day long, and finally they just give up. What I'm saying is, don't give up.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
if you get challenged, all you have to do is say, look outside the country. I mean, digital works. It's not like
it does. It does.
if you think about what happened before, people who started digital didn't have anyone to use as a case study.
That's right.
You just have to look outside this country for any kind of case study that it works and it's proven.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see why it needs to be challenged that much.
Yeah.
So-
No, that's actually what this show is all about as well. This is my platform for trying to educate the industry
Yep.
about digital. So that's why I invite guys like you over to share your thoughts, your views, and your opinions on how we can make it better and how we can educate everybody else as to how to do digital properly, if
Right.
there's such a thing. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Absolutely, and I appreciate that. So,
All right.
and that's one of the reasons I said I had to come on the show.
Yeah, yeah.
And be part of the group that you have as well.
Yes.
So I actually enjoy the fact that there's an open sharing and everyone talks about things, and
That's right.
there's no boundaries or companies inside the group. It's more like you're all on the same team.
That's right.
And giving
all trying
advice.
to elevate digital here
Right.
in the Philippines. That's the main goal. That's
It's like the
mission.
United Nations of digital is what you really should name it. Drinking digital. All walks of life, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Luckily, we don't have Iran in there, so.
All right.
Yeah.
So, tell us. So you're preaching all of these things. What have you done, digital wise for Jollibee? Tell us more. Tell us about these products that you're working on
Well, the good news
to bring
is...
Jollibee into the digital space.
Right. Well, the interesting part about Jollibee is a lot of the stuff we do doesn't come from the marketing side of things.
Okay.
It comes from a developmental fund.
All right.
money.
Like
So-
an experimental fund.
Experimental fund. And so once we prove it with one brand, it's easy to roll in because it's not just Jollibee. We do Chowking.
Right? Oh yes, that's right.
We do Red Ribbon.
Red Ribbon.
So
and
you,
Greenwich
what you'll
and
see
everything.
happen is one thing will happen in Jollibee and then it gets kind of rolled out into the other brands.
Yeah.
So just like the delivery site, we have Greenwich delivery and Chowking delivery. The whole concept of those are, if you notice, they're very similar in how they work. It's a lot like when you go to an ATM machine. They're all different branded and they look different, but they all work the same. So you don't necessarily have to relearn how to get your money out of the bank. You can go to any ATM machine. So that's kind of the premise behind these platforms that we created. Is we use the institutional knowledge of how to use one site, and you can use them across all.
Yeah.
Yet each one is branded differently, so the brand itself keeps its identity.
Yes.
The other part is we do a lot of open source work. So
Okay.
we're very smart about how we build these things. We're not building everything proprietary.
Yeah.
And we're building them from an enterprise class.
Okay.
We're also, Jollibee has a lot of other international brands outside of the Philippines.
Okay.
And so we're taking what we've built here and we're actually going to China with it.
So you're
next year.
exporting it.
Yep.
Okay.
So again, it's kind of like we built it and we worked it out and we know it's going to work, and then it's easy for us to take to China because they have the same delivery challenges. And of course, China is blowing up. Right?
Yeah, man.
The scale over there is like 7 times what we see here.
I can imagine.
How
How many stores do you have in China already?
There are 3 brands.
3 branches.
Three different Chinese brands. There's one
okay.
that's like a Chowking.
All right.
They have specialty items, and there's one that's like a kanji.
Okay,
type of
but it's
place.
owned by Jollibee.
Yeah, they're
All
owned by
right.
Jollibee. They just have Chinese names. And then what they do is they don't even have a spend in above the line. It's all digital over there.
Because I understand it's very expensive there, right?
It is.
Is it
Plus,
expensive?
it's state-run media, right? And
Yeah,
so
yeah.
most people don't even watch TV. They watch YouTube to get their TV and things like that.
Or Youku.
Youku
In
as
Japan.
they say.
In China.
In China, that's right.
Youku.com.
Exactly. So what's interesting is a lot of the strategies that we've done here, we're actually exporting to another country that doesn't
Okay.
speak the language, and
All right.
it still works. We just have to localize the campaigns
All right.
to work within the culture. So it's interesting to see.
So let's just take a step back, Manolo. So you have the online delivery platform
Yep.
for Jollibee. That was your first project.
Yes.
How did you go about convincing? What's his name? Anthony.
Oh, Tony.
Tony.
Tony
Tan
Tan
Kak
Tiong.
Tiong.
Yeah. TTC as we call him.
So how? I'm sure it must have been. Hey, we're gonna build a website and you can order burgers from
Actually,
there.
they had the vision.
I'm sure he was like, I don't think so. So
No, you know what they did is they go, hey, we want something like what McDonald's did. Right?
Okay.
Because, McDonald's was the first one out. You have to give them
Okay.
some credit.
All right.
McDelivery.com was the first one out there. Granted,
Alright.
it wasn't the best way. I wouldn't have done it that
And
way.
you improved on it.
And we improved on it. And if you look
Okay.
at what they did to their site, now their site looks like our site.
All right.
So now we're leading the charge and they're copying us. And if you look
Okay.
at what KFC did, their site looks like our site now.
So, it didn't take a lot of convincing to get them onto digital.
No,
they
they
really
knew.
wanted to do it.
Because if you think about it, there's a lot of Jollibees out there.
How many Jollibees are there
I
in the
think
Philippines
there's
right now?
1,500 plus.
1,500.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That is a lot.
They're doing really well in Vietnam, actually. One of our
Okay.
biggest growth areas. There's like 25 out there. And it's not even for the Filipinos there. Usually it's for the OFWs.
Okay.
The Vietnamese actually like the Jollibee taste. So it's kind of like a new audience we're going after.
Okay.
Jollibee also owns a coffee brand and a
in Vietnam.
Vietnam and the Hard Rock actually cafe
Really?
too. So they
All owned by Jollibee Philippines.
Yeah. So what they did is they found one of the holders of the franchisee and they bought controlling interests, which
Okay.
is kind of like what they did with Burger King too.
Yeah,
right?
I saw
so
that
you
in the
know
news.
it's they're smart.
Jollibee owns Burger
They're
King
smart.
in the Philippines.
Exactly.
Take that.
Exactly. Exactly.
Who's in charge now?
Do I need to say more? So
And yeah, of course, that big Mang Inasal deal.
right. So it's very interesting, but they're very aggressive.
Okay.
Their plan is to be one of the top QSRs in the world
In the world.
in the next 10 years, which I think they'll do very easily.
Right.
In Asia, very quickly. I mean, China
It's happening
itself-
already. Yeah.
China has 200 plus stores total.
Really?
Yeah, and they will
And
double.
it's-
They will double in size.
Yeah.
In
They
the
just
next
got to
year.
keep growing because they have
It's a lot of
tapped out
Chinese
here
to feed,
already.
right? So we look at that, but again, what we get to do is we get to experiment in different countries,
Mm-hmm.
and everything we build is built to be usable across all the brands.
Of course.
Our motto is build once, use many.
Okay.
Mostly from an infrastructure standpoint, so we have to be smart.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to reinvent things over and over again.
Yeah.
One of the biggest challenges now is when they do Facebook campaigns. I'm
Yes.
sure you run into it too. You do one, and then you actually have to start from scratch and build another campaign.
Yeah.
And where you want to just be able to have like a content management system behind it.
Yeah. So you do have a Facebook page as well.
We do.
Okay.
Not as big as yours, but it's growing there.
Okay.
I think combined, actually the biggest one, the one that does the best is Chowking. I think
Chow
it's like
King.
100,000 plus.
Wow, really?
Yeah. That's small compared to what Nescafe has. I
No.
think.
We're here to talk about you.
Yeah,
man.
right. Okay, I'm just saying. But combined, a lot of the other sites have like 30,000, 40,000.
Okay.
So it's growing. And the thing is, they don't.
And what do you use Facebook mainly for?
Well, we actually opened a Facebook storefront.
Okay,
one
so
of the-
whatever's on the website to order
Yeah,
is in
we made
Facebook page as well.
a Facebook-friendly site that's actually one of the tabs
Okay.
in Facebook because everybody's on Facebook. So why
Yeah,
not make
man.
it so you don't even have to leave the page?
Yeah.
And the nice thing is it goes back to our website, so
Mhm.
it's the same back end. So we're
Okay.
not, every time we update the prices and the
It automatically
items, it
reflects in the Facebook page.
Again, that's the smart way of scaling up because you have to be able to
Yeah.
do that.
Twitter. Do you use Twitter?
We do use Twitter. I
Okay.
think Greenwich uses Twitter extensively for their promotions.
Okay.
And Chowking. Jollibee, not so much.
Okay.
You'll notice the ones that do more on social and digital are going to be the ones that are smaller and have the smaller budgets.
Yeah.
Right? So anybody but Jollibee will focus a lot of their attention on digital because
Mm-hmm.
it works for them and it's more bang for their buck.
Okay.
Jollibee is great because they have all the money and they can do all different types of experimentation.
Mm-hmm.
We're looking at breaking into the gaming market side of things.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Yeah, because mostly kids or younger
right.
younger
We
people.
did
or-
some work with Jollytown, which is, that show.
Yeah. Jollytown.
I don't know if I've watched more than one episode. I'm not sure I understand it.
And you want to bring that to digital as well.
Well, they have a Jollytown site.
Oh, okay.
And we have experimented with you buy items in the store and you get virtual points that you can use when you log into the site.
okay.
And you get additional gold. So we're trying to see how that works for kids.
Mm-hmm.
I think that'll, in the next few months, we'll know more about how we can tweak the site to make it better.
Okay.
So we've been experimenting with virtual online and offline type of things.
Mm-hmm.
Jollytown site has games. They're all flash based at this point, but
Okay.
there's no reason why, or hint, there's no reason why that sooner or later you'll be able to download this onto your iPhone.
Of course,
for the
yeah,
kids when
yeah.
you're hanging out, right?
That's
so
right.
It's just an extension of what we can do.
Okay.
And all in all, in the end, we want to create ways that you can use the virtual currency or the gold that you earned in other ways, like trading up and things like that. So
Uh-huh.
we also have a loyalty program that we'll be launching soon.
Okay.
I can't talk much about it, but
All right. But this is what's next.
that's what's
after the
big what's
online
next.
delivery site.
Right. Yeah. Oh, I skipped over. So with the online delivery, we also have a mobile website.
Okay.
And the way we learned about that is we built the mobile website
Mm-hmm.
and didn't tell anyone about it. And then we just tracked to see through our Google Analytics if people were logging in from mobile devices.
All
And
right.
we
Also,
saw
you just built it.
Yeah.
Okay.
everything we do, we knew mobile was going to be
Mm-hmm.
an important channel, but because we didn't know what the value was to people out there in the Philippines, how
Yeah.
many people have smartphones and things like that.
That's right. Until now, nobody knows. Really.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We don't promote it, but we actually get a lot of orders through there.
All right.
say
Like what
maybe-
percentage would come from a mobile device rather
I would
than
say
the computers?
more than 2% will come from a mobile device.
Okay.
Of our total.
All right.
monthly, without revealing the numbers, right?
Yeah, yeah. So that's like 2 out of 100.
That's right. And we also can say that all of the expansion we did this year was not adding stores, but the web, right? Because you don't have to add more stores. You can actually serve up delivery as much as 1 or 2 stores of delivery.
Oh yeah. So
brick
that's
and
the
mortar.
volume that you're contributing now.
You can, yeah, more or less. Could be more, could be less.
Or 1 or 2 stores.
Yeah, I would
Okay.
say maybe 2 or 3. How about that?
Oh, okay.
So I'll
That's a
say
lot.
it's doing
That's
very
a
well.
lot. Yeah.
Just does very well.
All right.
The mobile device, and then we also have this deal with Smart when they're doing the mobile phones.
With the new smart net phone.
Right. And then with the introduction of the credit card, it kind of rounds out everything so that we can now offer the app in app stores so that OFWs can use it to send
Chicken Joy.
$1, right, to their families here and pay with their credit card.
Yeah.
Or use in-app purchases so they can pay with their phone bill in other countries if you don't have a credit card. So that's kind of the big grand scheme for
All right.
delivery.
Okay.
It's a big anchor of what we do.
Okay.
The NFC card thing that we're doing.
For the benefit of our listeners, NFC stands for Near Field Communications.
Correct.
Tell us how this works.
It's a lot like that card you buy for the MRT.
The octopus card.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or the MRT here in the Philippines.
Right, it's the
where
same
you buy a
principle.
card and then you just tap it on the turnstile
Yep.
and then you get
It
entrance
deducts.
and you can ride a train, right?
Right. So we will be having something coming up very soon.
Okay.
If you look at the Jollibee stores today, you'll notice a weird little reader that's in
Yeah.
front of the cash register.
Yeah, yeah.
They will have a card that you can use.
What do they use that for currently, though? I see that small
Nothing.
thing there, like a small Palm Pilot, right?
Well, what it is we've been testing it. We've actually been testing it for a year.
Oh, so currently it's not doing anything for the
The
cashiers.
employees of Jollibee have actually been the guinea pigs of this card. So
Okay.
we can work out the logistics.
All right.
How it works, what the loyalty program looks like. There's a loyalty program behind it.
Okay.
So you'll earn points and other things.
Every time you use it to buy Jollibee products.
And the clincher is it's going to be across all brands. So not just Jollibee's, but every brand of Jollibee.
Oh, okay.
all of the
So you just
brands.
need that one card.
Yeah.
But you can use it in Chowking and Greenwich and Red Ribbon and so on and so
Modern
forth.
Salt. Yeah, things like that.
Alright,
And
alright.
as we get more and more, there's a ecosystem. So you have Jollibee's brands as the ecosystem, and of course the sky's the limit after that.
Yeah.
I think most of the challenge for NFC success in this country
Mm-hmm.
has been people don't want to tie up their money in one card that they can only use at one place or
Yeah.
just on the transit.
Yeah.
But when you make it bigger and make it almost an omnibus card, there's a lot more value to it. So we believe people will use it more.
But I think more importantly is that you can now track their
Yes.
their eating behavior, right?
Yeah.
You know that this person just orders Chicken Joy every time or spaghetti and then chicken every time, right?
Right.
And then that improves your product development, or maybe you should market this meal more to this
Yeah.
demographic, right? That's the
Exactly.
more important thing, right?
What we'll do is we'll look at their buying habits and offer them through email or things like that.
yeah.
Other offers, kind of like what Amazon does. If you like this, you would
Yeah,
like this.
yeah.
So that's kind of what we're building up for a business intelligence standpoint.
So we'll watch out for that.
Yeah, for
Okay.
sure. I think you'll see by the end of the year it'll be in full swing,
Okay.
and then we can catch up again, and I'll tell you how well it did.
All right. All right.
It's countrywide, so that's kind of cool.
Countrywide.
hmm
All right. All right.
So the other things we're looking at is games.
Games.
Not just kiddie games, but being part of games. So if you think about things like Restaurant City,
Mm-hmm.
one of the things we thought about, this is all under the guise of it could be blue sky, it could be real.
Mm-hmm.
Restaurant City lets you run your own restaurant. So what
Yeah.
if you could run your own Jollibee?
Yeah.
What if you could take what you earn in the Jollibee store and use that to pay for things in the real Jollibee store, things like that. So we're looking at in-store, in-game stores.
Okay.
So you would be playing a game and you can actually pull over in the game and order through an API that we have.
Mm-hmm.
Have the website as the back end, and you can order food while you're playing the game.
Okay.
And have it delivered to you while you're in the internet cafe.
Yeah.
Which is what people do anyway.
Yep.
So those are things we looked at. And then, of course, there are ways that we can
Is our food here?
Food
is that
here, I think. Oh no,
not yet.
Nothing else.
Clock's ticking, Manolo.
What's our time?
There's our hash brown burgers.
We
man.
have 6 minutes, man.
Okay.
So, yeah, maybe we better check. No, I'm just kidding. The other thing we have is things like non-playable characters in games.
Okay.
Now, granted, Jollibee will not do anything that's not family-oriented. So
of course.
Things where you kill people will never be, although I try. Trust me, I try. But we are looking at having non-playable characters in different kinds of games.
Okay.
We're also talking to places like, Level Up, EA Games, things like that, and trying to figure out where we can play. Use virtual currency like Facebook credits as part of a payment option for our site. So all of this is in the works for the next coming year.
All right.
So very, very bullish on digital. I mean, they definitely have already seen the value. It's already generated positive revenue.
Yeah, and it's bringing in the orders through
That's
online.
right.
Yeah?
And so the cool part is digital, you can actually track how well a campaign does because it goes right to the ROI of the website.
That's right.
It's not like a TV commercial or anything else.
Yeah.
It's very direct. So we actually have really good data when we say, here's why we need to invest more in digital. And
Yeah.
Kind of
What sort of online promotions or media spend do you do to promote the website, though?
Good question. We do a lot of...
I know you're on radio.
Right.
I hear the jingle all the time.
That's right. Radio and digital are one of the bigger ones. I mean,
Okay.
Of course, Jollibee does a lot of TV commercials.
Yes.
And so does Greenwich, mostly with the ambassadors and things like that.
Yeah.
But
for online, how do you market it primarily?
from online, it's actually still mostly on the digital, on the delivery side, because there's a direct relationship to if you run a promotion, you can click on it and it drives you straight to the website and you can buy something.
Yeah.
That's a little bit different when you put a campaign in and you want to drive them to the store. It's a little more difficult to
that's
do
right.
and to track.
Uh-huh.
So we actually do a lot more to drive the traffic to the delivery site.
Mm-hmm.
But next year, we'll actually be doing a lot more to drive in-store traffic.
Okay.
Things like time-based campaigns or weather-based campaigns. So, like, if it's raining out, no one ever goes outside. They call delivery.
Right. That's right.
Which is good because we actually do very well when it rains.
Okay.
Impressively well. But imagine if we could say if you would go to the Chowking during this time of day or, Signal 1, you come out with a special discount for people that make it through the weather. We definitely will do stuff like that.
Okay, so that's when you unleash your online marketing,
right? Because that's the only way you can do it. Right?
Yeah,
time based. You unleash it. You use Twitter, things like that.
Okay.
So we'll do stuff like that. We'll do location based. We're going to experiment with those.
Okay.
Geofencing. We'll try that as well. There's a lot of things we're going to try. Mobile is going to be our primary way probably in the next 3 years because everybody's going to have the phones and such. So we definitely believe that mobile is a key driver for us.
Okay.
The other type of campaigns, of course, we do a lot of Facebook. But Facebook to me is still, it's either it's going to be a campaign for photographs, videos, whatever, the typical
still
campaign.
like an engagement
it's
platform,
an engagement thing. I think of all of the sites, Chowking does a lot of interesting different things. They ask specific questions. They did this one thing where you have to guess where the new store is going to open, and it's very time-based, and so the first 10 people get gift certificates if they answer it right. So it's extreme time-based.
Okay.
We're doing raffles, of course. We have a promotion going with Visa because they are partners with us for the credit card that we launched.
Okay.
So they are giving away weekly prizes. Sometimes it's an iPad, sometimes it's a smartphone, something like that. But those are the typical types of things we're still, standard fare for digital. I have some other things that we're talking about, may not talk about now. But
of course.
As we go down the path, next year you might see some very interesting different things.
Okay. People talk about online behavior as opposed to the offline behavior.
Yes.
And that they of course, your digital audience behaves differently from your offline audience. What do your online orders usually comprise of? Like, what do the digital guys usually order?
Well,
right. What are they more inclined to? The chicken or the burgers or what have you?
We actually learned a lot.
I'm sure you can track all these things.
Yes,
right?
we do. When we first launched,
I'd also think more meals.
Yes.
would order from online, right?
More value meals. In fact, the majority of them are value meals.
Oh, so they order the value meals.
The reason
Okay.
is it's all packaged together, right?
Uh-huh.
One of the things we started out with is if you ask marketing, they want a very entertaining, engaging site.
Yeah.
But if you think about the operational side of things and the customer behavior, they're hungry.
Yeah.
I just
want
want
it
to get
now.
my order, and in
Yeah.
fact, you can tell because when we don't deliver on time,
Yeah.
we hear about it.
Yeah.
One of the things we started out with was everything was a la carte. Right?
Okay.
When we first started the site, and then
Oh,
30
okay.
days later, we actually have on our site we can track where people click. We
Uh-huh.
know based on the orders. People were buying would like to. You can see that they're gravitating toward the value meals.
Mm-hmm.
So we actually took that one section and put it to the furthest left where people look first, and it actually.
That's
made
the
it
beauty
easier.
of digital,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
So you took, and we continually evolve the site. In fact, we will change the site every quarter.
Uh-huh.
Subtle.
You gotta do
ways.
that. You gotta do that, yeah.
And we're using the feedback
Based
from-
on the behavior that you see or
Exactly.
that you track.
exactly.
Okay.
Things like the way we show pricing.
The way you show
Pricing. on the
pricing.
site.
Yeah.
If you look at the way other sites do it, is like you have a delivery fee, and then you have the fee for the cost of the food.
Yeah, that's right.
We actually put everything into the cost of. You'll notice the prices are higher on the site than they are in the store
Okay.
because the delivery price is already incorporated into.
All
the
right.
cost.
All right.
You just don't have to think about this.
Yeah.
We will be using instant coupons. We have a way to track those as well.
Okay.
So when we do tie-ups now, what we'll do is we'll generate these coupons so that we can show our tie-up partners exactly how well something has been done as far as the effectiveness of the campaign we're working with them on. 'Cause
Okay.
a lot of times you really can't show that in real time, but we actually have a dashboard where we generate a coupon code that you put in on the website,
Mhm.
and it'll extract the discount out. And
All right.
then the person that's the tie-up partner can actually see how well a campaign is doing in real time.
Okay.
So
What about the other stuff where the experience that you get over the counter? What if I order a chicken joy and I want the breast part rather than the leg?
they have that.
Is
on the
there
site.
how do you
It's in the
manage that
comments field.
online?
Well, it actually is difficult. Sometimes, I think part of what the challenge is, people are used to getting whatever they want in the store. Now, if you go to McDonald's or something, they aren't as accommodating. They just say, here's what you get.
Yeah.
But Jollibee is very nice and pleasant. They say, well, you can have whatever you want. Sometimes the local store manager will give you some extras, right? Or because they're being nice. But
Okay.
suddenly, we are running a business. Sometimes we have to charge for extra gravy. That's one of the big complaints we get.
Uh-huh.
What are you charging me for extra gravy?
Yeah.
Because they've been used to getting it for free.
Yeah.
So the online behavior and the offline behavior kind of clash in that way. Sometimes people have been expecting certain things. You can't really do that. Like another thing is unlimited rice. I'm not going to sell unlimited rice.
Yeah.
How the heck are you going to do that online?
Exactly.
You can't. The reality is, if you look at most people will only be able to eat. Well, most people can
Yeah.
eat like three
Three
servings
cups.
of rice.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
So when we start doing those things, we'll take that into account.
Okay.
So that's a good question. Is translating what happens in the store and what happens on the website it's very challenging. So we have
Okay.
to find ways. Pizza.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, pizza has ultimate number of combinations.
Yeah.
So when you go to the Greenwich site, you'll look. We actually continue to evolve how you select your pizza toppings and stuff.
Okay.
Sometimes we limit it because there's just so many choices.
Mm-hmm.
Part of a delivery site is utility. You have to reduce what they call cognitive stress, which is the decision making process.
Uh-huh.
We like people to go through our site in 6 or 7 minutes. total.
Okay.
If they're spending more time, it's not necessarily
There's something
a good
wrong.
thing.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I mean, it's a little different than when you want engagement, right?
Yeah.
So those
Because you
are
want to
the-
get as many orders out there as possible.
smooth ordering. It's kind of like
Yeah.
if it were a drive-through, right? You want
Yeah,
to keep the
yeah.
traffic moving. So everything we do on the site is to speed up the ordering process and make it
Mm-hmm.
easier to do things. So the value meals is number one thing.
Okay.
Limiting pizza toppings or making it easy to choose the toppings.
Yeah.
So less variables are always nicer because the
Yeah.
reality is people want you to help them make a decision.
That's right.
They don't like you to give them all these choices. Well, they don't know that they don't like you, but
Yeah.
to make all the choices
That's
available.
the secret of In-N-Out Burger,
yeah,
right? They only
Very
have
true.
like four selections or something like that.
Exactly, and that's it.
Yeah.
You can do that. But they have those special things where you can order
The secret
the
orders.
secret ordering
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, yeah.
So I'll let you in on this little secret order for Jollibee, right? Just one. You can get 2 patties. Maybe you know this. You can actually get 2 patties on a burger, which I did not know.
You can get 2 patties.
You
on a burger?
you can order a Yum Burger with like an extra patty or something like that.
Really?
Yeah.
How do you do that?
You just
say.
ask. It's like, can I have a double patty? And then they'll do it. I'll probably get in trouble for telling you that, but that's what happens. Especially in the drive-thru.
But of course, there's additional charge for that. Right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so
you know,
right.
But they will accommodate most.
Okay.
But this will only happen in the store, not on the line.
Of course. Yeah.
So, but other than that, it's pretty interesting to see the behavior. I think what we were really worried about is when we started the online delivery process is would people even use it?
Yeah.
I think it's becoming a big business now, and other brands are seeing that delivery is the next way, the only way to grow without having to spend a lot of money building another store.
Yeah.
So we as we do this, we create new behavior, which is what we're trying to do with the NFC card.
Yeah.
Train people that it's okay. The thing about NFC is not about the money on it; it's about the speed and convenience.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know about you. If you ever look how dirty a bill is, money is, it's really gross.
I know, man. I know. No. Yeah. I've always had a thing about that.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't want to touch it, right? So imagine that you don't even have to touch money anymore.
Exactly.
Something where you can give the money, you can give the card to your kid. And,
if you want to reduce the amount of disease in the world, just get rid of money.
I'm telling you,
right?
Yeah,
and doorknobs.
How you open the door? Yeah, I guess so.
Okay. All
right.
Let's look at maybe 10, 15, 20 years down the line. How do you see it evolving? If you can just maybe give a fearless forecast.
How do I see it?
Does it actually come out of the computer, or what do you think the natural evolution of food online will be?
I think that
because this is the next step, right?
Yeah.
You know how people could not have conceptualized the car if we didn't have the horse and buggy first coming from the wheel, right?
True.
So now we're in the online delivery or online ordering. Where do you think it goes after that? I mean, how do you improve on that? Based on convenience?
I believe it's going to be a convenience factor. I believe we'll do more mobile couponing, redemption of things in the store. I think what will happen is you'll be able to order ahead.
Okay.
So if you don't want to have it delivered, you can pick it up on your way home.
Okay.
I think what will facilitate everything is mobile payments.
Okay.
The more we can start using our mobile to pay for things, the more things we can do. Like you wouldn't normally be able to order ahead if you couldn't pay for it upfront first. I mean, it's different when you have a delivery because you're going to the house.
All right.
And there's somebody waiting to give you the cash.
Okay.
But if you could order ahead and you didn't have to pay for it, we get a lot of false ordering, or people just playing around, or they decide not to go back. You know, it's kind of like making a reservation at a restaurant, but then deciding you don't want to go there anymore.
Yeah.
In the U.S., they started saying, "Give me your credit card number, and we'll hold that reservation for you," which changed a lot of things because you have to commit to that.
Okay.
I think when we start doing things where you commit a little bit more, you will see new things we can do, like ordering ahead, or I think that we will be able to have customized ordering that based on what you ordered last, they'll give you additional things, and you can anticipate your next thing.
Okay.
Or we'll start developing. Well, this is me talking, not Jollibee.
Yeah. This is what I wanted.
We'll learn more about what people like in their food.
Okay.
I mean, I think crowdsourcing from a food perspective.
Yeah.
We already get the feedback anyway, unsolicited.
Yeah.
Here's what you could do. You would be surprised. It's a lot like what Starbucks did. They have a site on Facebook where you can give feedback about how to make the business better, and they actually take it into account.
Yeah, for product development, for store experience.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I believe that that's the next evolution for Jollibee because they're very open and they listen to their customers anyway. I mean, they have a huge customer care department that we actually funnel a lot of the complaints to, and we kind of keep an eye on those. Not all the complaints we get online are for the site, right? So it's like I had a bad experience at this store. Either a manager was not nice to me, or they charged me for extra gravy.
Yeah.
But we can see that, and we can make things better by hearing that. We can also decide where to put stores, or maybe not even put stores at anymore, and just put kitchens or commissaries in areas. Since we're doing delivery, you won't need a store anymore.
Okay.
So those are the things I
Okay, you want to hear my fearless forecast?
I hear it.
You'll hear it first from me.
All right, can I steal the idea? You give it to me?
The host of Drinking... This is the future, man. This is how it's going to be.
All right.
And you can tell this to Tony.
All right.
We're friends now.
Right.
We're on a first name basis. I think this is how it's going to be in the future, man. 10, 15, 20 years from now. You know how they talk about your appliances being intelligent as well.
Yes.
So the computer now can communicate with your microwave and with your refrigerator. This is the future, my friend.
The Internet of Things.
The Internet of Things.
You're right.
Exactly. This is going to happen very soon, man.
Yeah.
You get a box. It's like a microwave type of thing. And then you just fill it with powder. No, man. No, I'm serious here,
I
bro.
like this idea.
No, yeah, this is the
I'm with
future,
you.
bro.
Keep
This
going.
is the future.
All right.
So you just fill it with sachets or with powder, right?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then from your computer, you just say, hey, I want a Yum Burger right now.
Yeah.
Click something, and then it talks to your microwave-like thingy or your Jollibee
It's a food
box.
replicator.
And then it will create the burger for you out of that powder. And then you just need to refill that powder every now and then.
I think that could happen.
Right?
I actually think that
No, that's it.
they
man.
have
That's
those
the
3D
future.
printers right now that are actually
Exactly.
printing some sort of food.
Exactly. Because
So-
we talk about, hey, can't the food come out of the computer or the money come out of the
Yeah.
food? Eventually it will, but it will be a different device that will craft that food for you, but it comes in something more portable
Yes.
or something that's more, what's the word, where you can control it with digital technology.
Right.
It may not happen with chicken, of course,
Right.
but with everything else, like a burger, for example, I think eventually you'll be able to create a burger out of powder and liquid,
Right.
and then that device
Doesn't sound
just-
that appetizing right now, but yeah.
you can condition that, my friend. You can condition that behavior, wherein eventually it does taste like the real thing anyway.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it will be
All
composed of
kidding
the
aside,
same.
I think that's actually a pretty good idea.
That's the
Yeah.
future, man. And you heard it here first from me.
All
God's
right.
gift.
I'll have to add that to my
Philippine
4-year
digital
plan.
No, seriously, but that's how I really see it.
I think that's amazing.
I know Samsung recently came out with a fridge with an app screen.
Yes.
In the front. I think it's coming where the computer will now be able to communicate with all the other devices, all the other appliances in your house.
Yeah.
And it will be able to do that eventually, and you will never have to leave your house as often as you do now.
Yeah, who would? I mean, the traffic's terrible.
Exactly. You'll just have to refill it
Yeah.
periodically, and then you can have it on demand.
But it'll know when it needs to be refilled because it'll check the refill thing.
That's
and
right.
It'll send
it
an
will
order
send
out.
you a message.
The
Oh, yeah, you
commissary
don't
will
even have
come.
to.
You won't even have to tell
buy
it.
it. Jollibee will
Right.
come to your house when your box is empty,
Right.
and they know that out of the week you ate 3 champs, and they will know.
Yeah.
I need to refill your box with champs, right?
Right. And it'll take it out of your Jollibee bank account.
There you go. There you go, man.
You won't even know.
There you go. You heard it from me
That's
first,
right.
okay?
That's
It's a
right.
$1 billion idea right there.
I think that's actually not a bad idea.
Right? Because where else would it go, right?
Yeah. I did some work several years ago with house smells. We were actually creating a box that when you looked at stuff online, it would smell like what you're looking at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
It had a very strong emotional pull.
Yeah.
Like, so the hardest part is simulating bacon smell because it can go bad real fast.
Yeah.
So food was not necessarily the best thing because we tried food. Flowers, perfume. But imagine if you could surf online and say, I wonder what that smells like.
Yeah.
And you press it and then
Yeah,
it's a little
exactly.
thing. So that's already here.
The senses will be parsed.
Right.
So
Right.
this burger technically doesn't taste like anything.
Right.
But I want to taste a Yum Burger.
Right.
And somehow something will be connected to your brain and convince you.
Right,
that
like
it
in the
tastes
Matrix.
like
We'll
that.
just jack
Exactly.
in and you upload the Jollibee program.
This will happen, Manolo.
And then you'll just have
Jollibee
the,
2.0. That's what it is. And then the smell will come out.
That's
and
right.
then you will be convinced that you're actually you'll
that's
be
actually
eating that.
not a bad.
Right?
It's a little scary, but yes.
I hope I don't live to see that. So
Right.
anything else? Anything else you wanna
Anything else?
talk about Jollibee Digital? Anything you want to promote? Anything you're coming up?
Nothing
with?
pro, but I think there's something to look at is Jollibee's 35th anniversary is coming up
Is that next year?
next year.
Wow,
or
35 years.
2013. So one more year.
Oh, okay, okay.
But in the works, we're looking at all sorts of things. Imagine a Jollibee smartphone.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
You're coming out with your own phone.
I mean, anyone can do it, right?
Yeah,
I mean, I was looking at it the other day, but then I saw these things that were pretty amazing, where it was a device for kids.
Mm-hmm.
So it was something they would wear around their neck. It was only like 3 buttons, and you could call your mom, the doctor, and the police, kind of a thing.
Okay.
But imagine if we would this is another kind of what if.
Yeah.
What if we would make these branded things that you give as Happy Meal toys, or kids meal toys.
Yeah.
Or at parties and things like that, and you give them to kids, and you can track where they are, or they could use it to kind of pull their friends together at a party and say, let's all meet. But it's also a safety thing. But as part of it is kind of a giveaway that you brand as part of whatever brand is going to be, and you use, because kids are the future anyway, so you kind of get them started on being Jollibee brainwashed.
Fans. Yeah.
So I think
fans is a better word.
Yeah, fans.
than brainwash.
Yeah, well, right? You can tell I've been working in this place too long. Yes, but I think there's a lot of things that we'll be experimenting with. So, but yeah, that's the good part is Jollibee knows that this is where it's going to go. So they've invested. There's a whole department around it now. It's like an innovations group. So
I don't know if you can discuss this or talk about this.
Depends.
Let's talk about the Jollibee mascot.
Sure.
And there has been some incriminating photos on the internet,
Actually,
or some videos. How did you respond to that? How did you fix that? Is that our order?
It's late by
like 20
30
minutes. No, but it arrived.
They got here.
So
They
it's
called.
proof that it works.
Right? Yeah, actually, we've been asking YouTube to take it off.
You asked YouTube to
just
drop
like
it. Yeah.
we had a thing where somebody was pretending to be Jollibee and also pretending to be McDonald's at the same time.
Yeah, I saw this.
And
they
then
were
he
like sitting on the same bench or something like
Right,
that. Was
but
it?
he also, this guy pretended to be Twitter Jollibee and Twitter
okay.
McDelivery.
Okay, like
was-
fake Steve Jobs on Twitter. Yeah.
But he was faking a Twitter battle online.
Okay.
And, this was early on. We didn't have a lot of verification, so people weren't sure if it was real or not.
Yeah. This falls under your territory as well, right?
So we got a call from like the newspapers or the news media saying, is there a Twitter fight going on between Jollibee and
McDonald's.
It's like, no, it's fake, right? We showed them that was fake. What's interesting is...
Were they swearing at each other on Twitter? Or
they were challenging
did it get
each
bad?
other. In fact, I think I still have the screenshots for that.
Okay.
What we have was a lot of back and forth between the two, but you could see, because Twitter tells you what you're tweeting from, what device. It's like send from my BlackBerry, and it's again sent from my BlackBerry.
Okay.
For both ones, so you knew the guy was.
So
faking
it's
it.
the same person. Yeah.
We contacted him and said, "Hey, cut it out first." We were, the first thing we do. in all these
Reached
cases-
out to the guy.
and we're nice, but like, hey, it's funny, but please tell him you're not real. We didn't even say stop. Just say, tell him you're not the real one, okay?
Yeah,
And he's totally blew us off. And then we called Twitter out on him, and they cut him loose, right? They cut him off his account.
Okay.
So with this TV thing, or the
video scandal thing,
it actually died a death many years ago.
Yeah, that's right.
Just it comes up once in a while. Somebody still has it on their desktop and pulls it up. So the problem is nowadays it's harder and harder to take that off because of not privacy, but they consider it user-generated content, even if it's inflammatory,
Infringing
and wrong,
on your copyright and everything.
It's very hard for us to do it, and more, the more stuff you put out there on the internet, the more stuff people can do with it.
Yeah,
and so now we're still asking. They won't.
So, but you basically asked YouTube to take it down.
Yeah,
when you first saw it.
Yeah.
And then, but who did that? Were they Jollibee employees?
What I know of it is, they were employees. They're mascot employees.
Okay.
And they.
Did they get fired?
I believe so.
Okay, so they were identified.
Yeah, I think that somebody talked. There's always somebody that knows something, and they come up and they say, if you give me some money, I'll tell you what happens.
Okay.
But it happens a lot. There's another one about Jollibee and worms in the food. I don't remember.
That's an age-old
it comes
conspiracy
up once in a while,
theory.
Right?
Yeah,
It'll pop up in the community site somewhere, and we have little crawlers running around that look for Jollibee keywords, and we're always looking for stuff like that. So look at that.
All right, our order's here. There you go.
Right.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's proof that JollibeeDelivery.com works perfectly fine.
Right.
So if you've been hesitant, on using their online delivery platform.
I got a lot
Don't
of food.
Don't fear, because it does work. The food will arrive.
Yeah.
Don't worry. And here's our proof. That's a lot of Jollibee right there.
Extra gravy.
It works, my friends.
Right?
So over the weekend, if you're
the top with the
if you don't feel like cooking or you just want to laze around the house, watch your DVDs, try out Jollibee Delivery. You don't even have to get off your couch.
Right.
Just use your mobile phone, your smartphone, and order right away.
That's right.
Right? Coolness.
And you can use your credit card. I think
How
I
many
overdid
did you
it.
order, Manolo? This is like a dozen Cokes here.
Well, I figured you had other people here you could give the food to, right?
This is a lot. Thanks, man. And then they just and then you just pay on delivery.
That's right.
All right. You can see the transaction happening. And this is real, folks. This is the real deal. It does work. It happens. All right. Cool. JollibeeDelivery.com. And you're saying ChowKingDelivery.com as well, right?
ChowKingDelivery.com, GreenwichDelivery.com.
GreenwichDelivery.com.
And come January, Red Ribbon Delivery.
RedRibbonDelivery.com. So all the Jollibee brands plus
right.
Delivery.com.
That's right.
Check it out, guys. I highly recommend it. Try it out. See for yourself.
Yes.
Right? And then have your stuff, your favorite Jollibee fast food sent to your home.
Right. And if you run into problems, you just post on the Facebook page.
Yeah.
And they do respond.
Okay.
That's part of the thing that we're working on now.
Excellent customer
Excellent
service,
customer
right?
service.
All right.
Or hashtag Jollibee Help on Twitter, and then somebody will respond to
All right. Hashtag Jollibee Help on Twitter. This is nationwide, all right, Manolo?
No, actually, it's
this is
only
just Metro Manila. Okay, so
As
there's a disclaimer right there.
February, it will be nationwide.
Okay, so you just
Whereas-
had to do a test first.
right, and they don't always the delivery stores. They haven't expanded to the provinces so much.
Okay.
So they are doing that as well. So
All right.
Cool.
Manolo, any parting words for our audience?
thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for coming over.
It was awesome. It was awesome to be here.
Thank you.
Come back.
All right. Thank you.
All
So
right.
that's Manolo Almagro, digital consultant for Jollibee here in the Philippines, doing all this excellent stuff online to bring your Yum Burger, your Chicken Joy, and your Champ to your home.
And hash brown burger. Don't
Hash
forget
brown burgers, the new one. And this has been your host, Ricky Bizas, for episode 6. This is our 5th straight episode of Drinking Digital. Of course, this is a weekly podcast talking exclusively about digital communications, anything from Facebook, YouTube, mobile marketing, and fast food online delivery. And we'll see you again next week. We'd like to thank, of course, Mr. Mo Twister of BattleAxe Network. Check out our other podcasts at battleaxenetwork.com. We'd like to thank, of course, the man with the plan, Mr. Miguel Olfindo, and our graphic designer, the guy who designed our logo right here, Mr. Kenneth Tan. Check out his work at ken.ph. Again, we are broadcasting from BattleAxe Network Studios. Check out the other podcasts at battleaxenetwork.com, and we'll see you again next week. Thank you very much.